Alberto Mavume. I'm actually a professor lecturer at the University of Eduardo Mondlane, Maputo in Mozambique. I've been working for the area of tropical cyclone climatology. Well, about Maputo, Maputo city especially, because Maputo is bigger, you may talk about provinces. Maputo is vulnerable to extreme winds, I may say strong winds, high temperatures, heavy rainfall, but also it is vulnerable to floods from the sea and continental floods, plus sea level rise. I may probably bring two vivid examples. I may say Mozambique has vivid examples, vivid and good examples on responding to disasters. If I take the example of 2007, 2008, that's a cyclone. We used to say rain season, but it is also cyclone season, because it coincides. This is one of the seasons where the response system was in place, and the warnings and the message reached most of the people, communities, and as a result of that, we didn't have any deaths, which is the most important part. We may have infrastructure damage, but when it comes to people, then it's quite, it's a big problem. Another example, which is the opposite of this, when, for instance, you don't have, you are not capable to deliver messages or warnings to the communities or people, public, then you come out with injuries and damages. That happens in 2000, cyclone season of 99-2000, where about or approximately 800 among injuries, deaths, and homeless people. So that was one of the very damaging season we had in Mozambique, because the ill warning system was not in place. People could not be informed ahead, and that's why we had such number, very devastating and high number of damages. That was one of the rare events we had in memory. It was so devastating, and early in the afternoon, the atmosphere started changing, dramatically changing, and it happens after a normal hot days typical in summer, and that change was accompanied by strong winds, rainfall, heavy rainfall, hail, and also thunderstorms. As far as if I remember, the temperatures in that day were about 31 degrees. Winds were around 120 kilometers per hour. Also had the rainfall was not so much because of the winds. When you have strong winds, the rainfall tends to be spread. So the rainfall that was registered in Maputo were around 28 degrees. Three sectors were mainly affected: education, health, and housing. People who had injuries about 117, four deaths, 1 people disappeared. Also, information from National Institute for Disaster Management indicate that in terms of housing, we lost around 441 houses. Actually damages, some totally, others partially, but in total. So this affected completely most of the communities around Maputo, especially where the houses are not resistant to winds. Immediately, in terms of action, the National Institute for Disaster Management, because as part of his mandate, immediately helped the communities with tents, with food, and also materials for construction, for rehabilitating the houses. Yeah. And they still, of course, doing that. It's not something that you finish one day. So as far as I know, there is a budget for they call it National Contingency Plan, which has been funded almost every year by the government. According to recent prediction models, Maputo is one of the cities which is going to be affected by climate change, has been already affected by climate change. Events such those of 24th of October are likely to become more intense and more frequent. So we expect a damaging situation of high scale. The response system that we have in Mozambique, it's a multi-sectoral and multi-hazard, and it has coordination mechanisms. A part of that, we have a community-based ill warning system, which is also plugged to the government national system. It includes also the evacuation component, and we have kind of evacuation routes which are designed to help the communities in face of disaster to be in safe places. And that actually works perfectly. It's centralized. We have, in addition, small-scale alert systems using cell phones, which also add a value. Cell phones or SMS also help a lot when it comes to spread the message among the people, along the community, especially. Almost every year, the government allocates a budget for a national contingency plan. That budget is especially for disaster response, and it happens almost every cyclone rain season, which extends from October to March. Yeah. The cyclone season is from November to April, but in average we just account from October and up to March. Then you have almost everything. It's the ill warning system works for floods, for cyclones, or for anything, any hazard. That's why we call it multi-hazard.